2021, new year. So let's go back to the basic, right? Let's go back to the basic and let's find out what we're missing, right? So when I go through this 8 step to success, oh, see, it fell. So let's go over 8 step to success. The reason we need to go over 8 step to success, this is really very basic. It's not about, oh, I know it already. It's not about what information you know. How much have you really applied in your business? How much actually you have put it into in your action daily, right? Daily habit. How much you actually followed this 8 step to success? Because it's not like you go to the school, you learn about 8 step success. We're not going to write an exam on it. The reason we are learning 8 step to success, because all the leaders who's been doing Atomy, they figured it out. Atomy, we don't really have a manual. Because some people say, oh, Aeri, other company, they have this thick book, what to do, what to post, this and that. Does Atomy has any of it? Sorry to say this, we don't have any of it. But Atomy always, even including Jeong Park, he empathized we need to follow 8 step to success. Right? Through the 8 step to success, our goal is to become an auto sales master. Right? But what the direction? 8 step to success. Right? Our goal is to become auto sales master with the direction of 8 step to success. So if you follow this one, this is something you need to duplicate. So let me just go over one by one, but I will not take a much time for sharing 8 step to success, because something you can gain knowledge by watching Jeong Park and many other leaders. Today, I just want to go over and I want you to think about your business. How much am I really following this 8 step to success? Right. The very first one on the list is a firm goal setting. And I think we empathized a lot towards the end of last year that writing life scenario is very important. The reason, the question is, how many of you actually wrote life scenario? We really empathize the importance of writing a life scenario, but the question is, how many of you actually took a time to create a life scenario? Right? So it's not about how much you have learned, how much you actually applied on your daily life for you to, right? In order for you to gain more results for Atomy business. So find out your big why. If you don't know how to write, you become clueless what to write. We have a guideline. That guideline is life scenario. Life scenario will give you direction to create this firm goal setting. Right? So very number one is a goal setting. Once I go through, you will understand why number one is a goal setting. Without this, you won't be able to follow rest of the steps from the 8 step to success. The second one on the list is a commitment. Yes, you now you figured out why you need to do Atomy. You found the desire to become successful with the Atomy. You found the reason. There's a big why you want to become Atomy. You want to become successful in Atomy. Okay, but in order for you to really make into reality, you need to make a commitment. Are you really willing to pay the opportunity cost? You are enjoying your current lifestyle. I mean, watch 2 hours of Netflix and then go out every weekend. You want to continue your current lifestyle, but still want to make $50,000 after 5 years. I think the equation doesn't make sense. In order for you to achieve your goal, to fulfill that big why, you need to kind of give up something. Right? Even if you don't sleep, I'm not saying that you shouldn't sleep, but even if you don't sleep, you need to spend that time for doing it Atomy. You need to kind of give up your personal pleasure right now to focus on Atomy. That's a commitment, right? You need to make a strong commitment. Then some other leader put this commitment as what's your number one priority. If there are certain number of things that you need to do daily, what's the number one thing you need to do? So let's say you need to bake a cake, right? You need to bake a cake. You need to follow up your members, right? You need to catch up on your Korean drama shows. And let's say there are some other things on your daily list. What is your number one? If your answer is not Atomy, you're not willing to become successful in Atomy. If you're still saying that, oh, I will watch a Korean drama first, and once I'm done, I will do follow up. Then Atomy, it's not your primary reason, right? You won't be able to achieve the goal that you set on number one, right? The step number one. And after you set the goal and decide firm determination that you want to become successful in Atomy, what do? You create a contact list. I think this contact list, it was really hard for me to write a contact list. Honestly, I didn't know how. I didn't know what name I should be putting it on. And when I was watching several leaders YouTube at the time, they said, contact list it's easy. Person who you will be sharing Atomy. It's not, don't think about whether they will do business or not. It's their decision. But what I was thinking, whenever I go through all the names on my phone list, I'm making a judgment on my own. Okay, Mary, is she gonna do it or no? By looking at her personality, maybe she. So I'm wasting my time making the prejudgment. So at the end, I have nobody really to write on my contact list. So our CEO Hungry Park said, what he said, law of your own mind. What we do, share. Decision is their job. We don't make a decision for them, right? So this contact list is who you going to share Atomy, not about the business, right? Who you going to share Atomy, even just the consumers, even just the lady across the street, right? That lady might not interest in the business, but the lady need to use a shampoo. The lady need to use a skincare. So the people you can share Atomy. So don't just categorize as okay, I need to make a contact list. Who will do the business with me? No, make it broad. Who will use Atomy product, right? Then you will probably comes with tons of contact lists. Right. And I also have shared several months before how some other leaders creating their contact list. They also categorize contact list by product. They put hemohim, they put skincare, they put probiotic. Okay, so I think the people over here need hemohim. So when this person contacting this person, mainly talking about hemohim. So there are many different ways how you can create a contact list. Right. So today I'll just generally go over what is an 8 step to success, but probably in following meetings, we can go in detail about this 8 step to success. Yes. So once you have created a contact list, what do you need to do? You need to invite them to Atomy system. Yes. Before you have to ask them to come to the seminar, please come to one-day seminar. But I think Cheryl mentioned many times, nobody wants to come because of traffic. It's far. They're tired after work. But honestly, these days easier because they can just enjoy watching through YouTube, or they can just join online meeting. I think some people just having dinner and watching at the same time. So I think it becomes easier for us to invite our consumers or prospect to join our Atomy system. Atomy, we all know Atomy provide the success system, the online one-day seminar, online success academy, and we do have our team meeting. And I'm sure your sponsors will also provide those the Zoom meetings for you. And that's where you can also invite your members. And not only Atomy Canada, whole global branches, they are running their own YouTube channel. And if you go their YouTube channel, they're trying their very best to upload very useful video, which we can watch, right? And which we can share to other team. And plus, we all know we do have a CH Atomy, right? So invite people to those systems. And after you invite it, it's showing the plan. Many people finding this is hard. Oh, I don't know how to explain. Oh, I'm not a good presenter. Show the plan. It's not talking about how well you can present or how well you talk. It's about what you will be sharing to the other person. Even if you just sharing, oh, you know what? I actually have tried this eye patch and I tried it 3 days and I apply here and there. It's good. It's also part of show the plan. And even sharing why you're doing it Atomy. I don't want to worry about paying mortgages. I don't want to worry about my retirement. So I know Atomy can be a good backup plan for me. That's the main reason I'm doing it Atomy. That's also show the plan. So show the plan doesn't really have a certain structure, because I thought show the plan is like you need to have a proper, right? Like a proper presentation in front of the member or prospect. No, there is no certain rules. If you share how much you love Atomy product, that's also part of show the plan. Share the benefit of becoming a member, that's also part of show the plan. And share the vision of Atomy. Vision of Atomy is not about, oh, Atomy is $1 billion company. Oh, Atomy, there are now many people making money. Other than that, you can share your own vision, the reason you are doing it at Atomy, right? So it's all part of show the plan. Once you have show the plan, thanks, Cheryl. She empathized this one today, that follow up, right? I mean, you create contact list, of course. If you got a yes from them and you register them, or at least you share the product to them, what do you need to do after? You need to find out how much they like the product, or if they have attended a meeting, you want to know whether they like the meeting, or if they didn't like, you want to find out why they didn't like the meeting. That's follow up. Right. One thing I have learned, right? Because everything I learned, because I haven't done it now MLM before, or I haven't read any book related to MLM before. So everything I share is from my experience, or some of the notes I got it from the many leaders who've been at me, or any other MLM for many years. 48-hour rule. Actually, I kind of neglected at the beginning of doing it at Atomy, but I know the importance of it. It's not really exactly 48-hour rule, but it's just part of a follow-up. Once you have introduced, right, any number of product, right, any number of product to your member, call them or message them. Don't just call them like next day. That's why it's a 48 hours. So 2 days later, at least, oh, have you tried it? How did you like it? Depend on their answer, you know what action you need to take. I think I mentioned it before too. When I asked them, oh, how did you like it? Oh, I didn't even open the box. I mean, they were so eager to try the product, buy the product, so they purchased it. But when you follow them up, oh, Aeri, I was busy. I didn't even get a chance to open the box. So you know you need to follow them up again. Right? Sometimes when you follow them up, oh, I tried evening care set, but I wasn't really getting the results I got when you do the facial for me. Then from there, you can continue the conversation. How did you use a deep cleanser? How to use a foam cleanser? And how to use a peeling gel? And by the way, she explains, oh, you're supposed to use a peeling gel in a certain way. So she will appreciate for me giving her correct information. And once she try the way I explained, probably she will like it. And I will probably call her back or message her back a couple of days later. If she says oh, I like evening care set. And I can also add it, oh, if you like evening care set, why don't you ask your coworker to use it? Oh, why don't you ask your friend to use it? If you don't know how to explain, I can help you to do it. So, I mean, you can actually get referral from them naturally. Then if this one becomes a habit, you don't have to worry about getting a contact, right? So after you introduce a product, or even you ask them to come to the seminar or the meeting, always follow up, because you want to know whether they like it or not. If they like it, of course you want to proceed with that, but if they didn't like it, you want to find out why. And after follow up, it's a consultation, right? Consultation. The consultation word itself it's kind of big, but anything you want to share. I mean, I talked to this partner, this member, not this member. I talked to this prospect, but I thought I will be getting yes, but I end up getting it no. Can you tell me why I got no? Or probably sponsor doesn't even know the answer, but at least when you talk it out, right? Probably will be able to identify, right, what went wrong, or it was just a decision made by the consumer. So if you don't know anything, right, if you think you're kind of overwhelmed with the reaction by the consumers, or if you feel like you're kind of lost in track, just always consult, right? Instead of worrying just by yourself. If you just worry by yourself, there's no solution. That's one thing I have learned. I'm the person that I don't really ask, but I learn I need to ask a question, right? Because I thought that if I ask a wrong question, I'll be penalized for asking such a question. But I learned if I don't ask a question, my question never be answered, which means I won't be able to gain the confidence. So I learned I need to ask a question if I don't know. So I ask a lot of questions at the beginning, but I don't ask that much question these days. But still, if any situation comes, which I never experienced, I still contact my sponsors for their ask them to share their experiences. So we all are leader, but still depend on how many years you've been at me, experience level is different. Right? I'm not saying, or my sponsor doesn't mean that they have all the answers, but at least we went through more good and bad experiences. So that's where you contact your sponsors to get that experience. And the very last thing, and then I think it is the most important, right? Besides setting up the goal, number 8. If duplication doesn't happen, what you do right now, you need to do it forever. Hopefully you all understand what I mean by it, right? If duplication doesn't happen, probably you might think that when do I stop registering people? When do I stop, calling for follow? When do I stop? You'll probably ask yourself, how long should I do it? You can stop do it when many of your partner duplicate what you do. Please give me a thumbs up if you do what it means. If no duplication, what you do right now, there's something you don't want to do it, you have to do it forever, and that's going to make you give up on Atomy. And then the reason we're trying to follow this 8 steps to success, some people are smart. Some people can create their own system. They can come up with their own lines of, sales speech, this and that. But the question is, can your partner follow the system? Can your partner can speak well like you? That's the reason company came up with this 8 steps to success. This is something what we can duplicate it. We can kind of pass it on to our members. You're trying to gain a lot of information possible. What do? You're trying to pass it on to your partner, and then your partner also pass it on to. If it doesn't really, there's no connections, you need to keep on register, cold contact. You need to do it, and then after 3 years, you might thinking, why am I keep on doing this? And that's gonna make you discouraged of doing it at me. So importance of duplication is that you don't need to continue of doing what you are doing it, right? So you will know what's 8 steps to success. Okay, so Atomy always from the time even I started, they always just empathize on 8 steps to success. 8 steps to success